going on, guys? You're watching Everyday Struggle with Nadeska, Akademiks, and Wayno. And this morning we are welcoming Yo Gotti to the show. How are you feeling, sir?
What's good?
First time. We was trying to get you on for a minute, man. First time appearance on the show.
Yeah, this the first time.
Yeah.
What's happening? We out here.
Shit, man. Listen, just happy to have you, man.
I'm up early too, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. I know it's not easy.
I mean, I'm usually staying up like, I still be up from yesterday. I ain't used to waking up this early, but I'd be up from the day before.
For a veteran artist like you, is even doing a quote-unquote press run and still coming out and talking, answering questions, is that even a thing you got to do anymore?
I don't got to do nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't got to do nothing. Everything I do is shit I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I actually want to get back out here and touch the people. When I say touch the people, that's whether, you know, y'all interviews or just touch the fans or, you know, sometimes you got to come out the big house, man, and touch the people. You know what I mean? Like, so to me, this energy is more fun and refreshing than it is feeling like you just got to be doing some promo shit. I can curse on her and shit?
Yeah,
Of course.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? You know, certain places you can't be. Yeah, okay.
So like, actually, like this particular project, it feels like, you know, like it matters a little bit more for you. Like, am I reading into it wrong? Just even the energy with it, I'm watching how like hype you've been for it and like how much you're just pushing it. And I'm like, this one kind of feels a little personal.
Well, I push everything I'm involved in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's whether if it's my album, if it's a Black Youngsta album, it's a Moneybagg Yo album, or anything that I'm touching, I'm pushing it. Like, I don't believe in like halfway doing something or not promoting it. You know what I mean? That's like if I was in the street, like getting the sack and not selling it. What type of shit that ain't no real hustling. So I'm serious about whatever it is. But also, you know, it's been a minute since I put out an album, so I want to make sure the people hear what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the message you wrote before you dropped it was pretty emotional. Like you said, you felt trapped by the streets at one point. You lost a lot of people that you love.
Yeah.
You've been going through a lot. So was it emotional for you to create this project?
I wouldn't say it was emotional to create it, but I was going through a lot of different shit creating it. You know what I mean? And you know, I don't know, we hate to use the word emotional. This shit seems kind of weak and soft, but I mean, I guess vulnerable, I don't know, but
it's one of those demonized words where humans, we run on emotions. That's just what it is.
It's just going through a lot, man. I mean, you grew up with some of my closest partners. I lost them in different ways, you know what I mean? Some of them went to prison, some of them passed. And I even lost partners that mean like we just fell out. You know what I mean? Like some of my real homies, niggas I grew up with like 10, 15 years or more, they were like, I looked at them as being not 100, but 200. And they just done foul shit. Nigga may stole something, done something. It was like, damn, home, like a lot of this happened to me in the past couple years in the process of making this album. So
is Untrapped a bit of relief? I mean, like.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be untrapped, meaning like you relieved. I mean, you woke up, you're a little wiser, you see things a little clearer, you know what I'm saying?
I see you post on the gram, like, actually, not like a couple minutes ago. Like you said, just drop my album, out my deal, on my masters.
Facts.
Like, are you completely out your deal? And one thing I've always admired about you is like your business acumen. Like, you know, you saying that you own your masters, this and third. Like, could you expound on that?
Yeah, it's exactly what I said. No cap. I own my masters. I just dropped the album. That was the last album under the deal. You know what I'm saying? So, dropped my album, out the deal, on the masters.
So you're off Epic?
Straight like that.
So
I'm out. It's over with. Shout out to Epic, though. Shout out to Epic. Like, the whole team. Everybody from the top to the bottom. If you do promotions, marketing, you know, man, we had a good run and everything was like super sweet, like just like my family. You know what I'm saying? So you never know.
Yeah, that's
it may continue.
Yeah. How easy or how difficult was it for you to finally own your masters?
Negotiations, the bag, right?
Negotiations gonna be a bitch, huh?
What you say now?
I'm saying how easy or how difficult was it for you to actually own your masters?
That was a big process. That was over a year of communication, a year of negotiation, because like I actually bought my masters. So I ain't just, when I say own them, I don't mean like they just gave them to me. I bought my masters for a big figure, and I don't think I'm even allowed to speak about the exact number, but it's probably one of the biggest purchases I had never bought in my life.
Wow. Okay, so amateur questions. Yeah, when you go in to buy your masters, right? How is a lawyer helping you come up with the number that you should pick, and then are you going back and forth a lot?
A lawyer don't help you come up with the number. Evaluations help you come up with the number. You know, if you bought this company is based off valuations. They got what the company worth, what it's gonna be worth in 10 years, whether it's going up or down or whatever. Like, that's a big process, something that, like I said, I never even had to deal with. This took like probably over a year, just going through different valuations, because I had to do my valuations. They had to do theirs. Everybody had to make sure the number is the right number. You know what I'm saying? And then you had to come up with the paper.
I wanted to speak on that a little bit more with the just owning your masters, because there's so many kids that walk into these buildings that don't have any leverage, that think that they should own their masters immediately. So I want to know how you felt about, you know, owning your masters from signing a deal.
I mean, what I would say, like, today, some of the new artists go into the deal, and it's part of their deal. They own them from the beginning, which I salute them for that. You know what I'm saying? But times have changed. We talking about, like, if you done a deal last month versus if you done a deal 10 years ago.
Right.
That wasn't even an option, damn near.
Right.
Back then, like, who owned their masters? You know, G-Eazy, Prince, maybe, I don't know, we probably can name on one hand.
Yeah, it's not
from back, you know what I'm saying, 7 to 10 years ago. You know, you have more chances of the new artists nowadays because the temperature of the game didn't change.
Yeah. I want to ask about that too. Remember, I was talking about, I went to Birthday Bash last year, right? And when I was there, I just seen so many artists, even if they weren't signed to CMG, it's like they come through you one way or another. Like, just and not just to sign to you, but to get information from you.
Yeah.
You know, I just wanted to know how you felt about, like, being the elder statesman in Memphis. You know what I mean? Like, how does that work a bit?
But you know, that really happens outside of Memphis too. That happened outside of Memphis too. Like, I'm connected with a lot of these younger artists. They all hit my line. We all pull up. You know what I mean? If they got a question, if it's a big question or a simple question, they just hit me, hey, guy, what you think about this? This going on my label. How should I play that? Man, these people playing on me over here. What you think about this? And I just shoot them the game. Information. That always been one of my things, to share information, because a lot of people didn't share information with me when I was coming up. You know, and I probably could have made a few wiser or smarter decision had I had that mentor or just their phone number to hit and ask the question. So I'm all about free game and passing down the information and all that. But when it comes to Memphis, man, like, I just feel like, you know, we from the bottom, man. Our city's like one of the most poverty cities in the world. So, and that's why it's so gangsta out there and so gutter, because it's all everybody know is take somebody else's paper almost if you ain't got none. So whenever these little homies got some information, some questions, I'm gonna give them the information. It don't matter who it is. I was just talking about how my little homie NLE Chopper, when he was doing his deal, you know, we was moving around with him. You know, we ain't got no business with him. Like, it's our little brother. You know, we ain't never got a dollar off of him. But when he was first running around doing his deal.
He owned his masters as well too when he signed, because he did some with United Masters. I think that's their thing, where like the artists, you keep your masters.
Well, I don't know the specifics of it. I don't know the specifics of his deal, but what I'm speaking on is that, like, in the beginning stages when he was first running around to the labels, the first, you know, 3-4 months or whatever, when everybody would call him trying to give him millions of dollars.
Were you trying to sign him too?
We had a CMG representative right there with him.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and we talked to him about it at one point, you know what I'm saying? But we ain't never pressure him. We gave him the option, you know what I'm saying? And we also like, but whatever you want to do, we rocking with you. So when you going to meet with everybody, you know, he would meet with everybody.
Yeah.
I sent one of my close dudes that be with me every day with him to every meeting to make sure he understood what they were saying, his mom and them understood what they were saying, and could break the language down to him and you know, asking him what he wanted, to make sure we kind of like the translation between, you know, the labels and him, so make sure he understood, and that's how the homie. Yeah. So, and that's just an example of like us trying to help any artists that come out of Memphis with with whatever their business structure is.
Is there any ever time where like maybe even there's a little bit like say again, maybe not particularly him, but anybody else that didn't sign to you and you're like, damn, man, I thought you was rocking with me, but they ended up doing the situation somewhere else.
Nah, see, you understand, Ek, I'm already rich.
Yeah.
I've been rich like, and not that I don't like the word rich, but we've been eating, and we've been having money for so long, and we've been doing it our way for so long that it's like I understand, man. You can't own everything. You can't have everything. Like I don't think nobody ever gonna have every artist from the same city. Right. Like every artist that come from the city gonna be with you. That's impossible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I do think everybody could be cool and be cordial and respectful and get money and be a unit and represent the same city properly. You know what I'm saying? And the energy be good.
Yeah, that was real interesting when I was in Memphis because like I had never going to Birthday Bash. The only people I ever seen perform as long as you was probably you and Black Thought when he does Roots Picnic. Like you did songs I heard, shit I never heard before, brought out 1 billion people. Like I remember you saying when we was backstage, you were saying about how you started it with like it was like 1,000 people just in a park or something. How was the build up of Birthday Bash?
The first time I did it was at a venue called the Orpheum. Mm-hmm. And I actually quoted this. I said, picture me performing in the Orpheum on like one of my old albums, because the significance of that is no hip hop artist ever performed there. Mm. I'm talking about Elvis Presley and what's the other guy name? Used to do all the shows in Vegas, and Frank Sinatra, and like these the only type of artists ever performed in this venue, and it's in Memphis. Mm-hmm. And it probably hold like 1,800 people. So that was Birthday Bash 1 was it. And we charged like $20 for everybody to get in. And I had like G-Eazy come, I think T.I., Jadakiss. Like we had a lot of artists come, and it was just a $20 ticket, 1,800 capacity venue, and that was the first one. Cause I had this vision of doing this, cause we don't have no summer jams and all that in Memphis, so that was my ideal of building one. Mm. So I threw this show, I actually lost over 100,000 doing the show, and I lost it in meaning like I thought I was gonna make it. I went into the show knowing that I was gonna spend over 100,000. Mm-hmm. Then, cause that number 18, you were 1,800 people times $20. What that is, 36,000. Yeah. That was the total that I could make. I knew that going into it. My stage was 75,000 just the production. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I had to pay for all the artists' travel to get there, their hotels to get there, their ground transportation, the promotion of it, rent the venue. So I probably lost over close to 200, like a little under 200 doing the show. But in my head, it was a vision. It wasn't about that one show. I knew I was gonna build it. I just want the show to be dope, and the energy could be right, and we'll build this shit out every year and make it get bigger and bigger.
Is that something that you should always be conscious of in business? Sometimes you might take a small loss up front, for the greater plan down the road?
Yeah, it's a long-term investment. And now we doing this show at the FedEx Forum. Yeah, this is what the Memphis Grizzlies play at. Ain't nobody selling this shit out with me and them.
Yeah. To see it was a real experience. Like, to see it was a real experience. To see, like, I think we got there like 7. We ain't leave till like 1:30 in the morning or something like that.
And it's the FedEx Forum Arena. So just to put in perspective, like, being an artist from Memphis and the way our downtown is, you go 2 blocks away, this North Memphis. This is where I used to hustle at. You go 2 blocks away, the other way, this South Memphis. Mm-hmm. Like, so it's kind of in the middle, 2 sides of 2 hoods. At one point, I was banned from venues in Memphis where I couldn't even perform just because how I was moving around and running around. Damn. I couldn't even go in venues.
That's crazy.
Now we selling out the Memphis Grizzlies arena in your hometown. Like, it ain't no better feeling than that shit.
And that was the place where the shit happened with the pyros when your pants caught on fire.
Oh yeah, I caught on fire, some more shit, man. Shit was crazy.
Did you notice it? Like, I mean, it happened so fast. Like,
I ain't even know it at first, bro. I was like, I knew some shit was hot on my leg. I'm like, oh shit.
You got burned?
Yeah, you gotta look this shit up. Like, the pyro, I stepped over the pyro and this shit blew up.
I thought it was like fake fire.
No.
Fake fire? How you make
Where do you
fake
find
fire?
that?
And my leg caught on fire.
That shit is dangerous.
But I ain't know until like, it took me a second to figure it out.
Right.
When I walked off from, like when it first happened, when I was walking back across the stage in my head, I'm thinking like, damn, that shit was close. My leg hot as shit. But the whole time I was still on fire. I ain't even really know it. Yeah.
Yo, since you've already accomplished so much in music, outside of your music, creating these big cultural moments, now you own your masters, you're out of your deal. What are your next big plans? You know, you have some investments in like esports, for example. What are you trying to build in the next 5 to 10 years?
Man, I'm just trying to build an empire. Keep, you know, it's different. Get to that 100 M's. Once you get to that 100, then figure out how to get to that B. You know, just keep. I'm a hustler, like, so you never content. You always just want to get to that next level and see how far you can go. Yes, I love music, so I'm gonna keep building the label. You know, I want Moneybagg Yo to be bigger than me. I want Black Youngsta to be bigger than me. I want Block Boy JB to be bigger than me. Any artist I'm working with, 42 Dugg, Lil Migo, like, you know, that's another one of my goals. When I see them get to that point, that's another thing that I want to see.
Do you feel like CMG is kind of, you know, like when people are mentioning like the labels, like currently that's like moving and you hear that they'll throw out the QC, TD, Center. Yeah. Do you feel like sometimes CMG gets overlooked? Nah,
we most definitely respect it. Yeah. We real respect it. You know what I mean? Whether it's in the street, whether it's at the bank, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's at the bank, the street, and I think just in the game in general, we most definitely respect it. And I have a lot of conversations actually with like P from QC. We chop it up all the time just about what both of us doing and how we respect what each other doing and you know what I'm saying, how many of these young cats we trying to turn to millionaires, and not only turn them to millionaires, but teach them how to stay millionaires and how to, you know, just double down and level up and keep going, you know, and don't just get the money now and get comfortable with it, you know what I'm saying? I also reached out to Top Dog at TDE before. Like, so anybody in that same level of realm of what I'm doing, whether they label bigger or the same or whatever, you know, I try to communicate with them and just share information, you know what I'm saying? Or I ask for advice. When I hear somebody like Top Dog, I want to get with him to get, you know, because I feel like you playing on a higher level than me already, so man, give me some of that advice.
Do you ever see a day where people like you and P and Top Dog, just other moguls, could even pool, more than sharing information, which is very important, could pool resources as well to own things? I know people talk about owning sports teams, for example. Those are big purchases in the billions. Do you think that's something that could be possible?
That's something me and P been talking about on the phone a lot too lately, about just, not just about, you know, sports team, but just about, you know, how we, being from the South, being two labels that really mean something in the South, what we can do together that strengthen the whole South. You know what I'm saying? Like what we can do together that strengthen the whole South. Just the not the brand, but just the stigma, like just what we doing in the South. Like how we do something that just make the whole area stronger.
Do you follow some of the, like, because you're on Rock Nation for management, right? Do you follow some of the, like, their patterns when it comes to building CMG? Just how you said, like, you know, everybody, like, kind of comes through y'all. Like, you know, like, I know with Rock Nation it's more about, like, the mentorship type of space. With Jay is, like, a lot of the artists like yourself, Meek, it's more of a camaraderie of helping y'all build y'all brands. Like, do you take that and implement some of them things in the CMG?
Of course. I pick up a lot of information from Rock Nation. From Jay, Tata, OG, just anybody, you know, everybody around, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I think it's super cool that, like, they want you to take this information and they respect hustlers. Like, they can identify with a young hustler, and if they know you're a young hustler, I feel like they double down and triple down on giving you the information because I feel like they know you family and you on the team, so why not school the next hustler that's on the team that's gonna bring some back to the team.
Right. What's the greatest advice you've gotten from Jay that you can remember?
The greatest advice I got from Jay was in the process of when I was buying my masters. I went to his house and talked to him, and I got his opinion on it, you know, and just asked him because I could have sold it. You know what I'm saying? Like the way it worked was, I had an opportunity to buy the masters, or I had an opportunity to get a super big check and walk away. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things he told me was like, man, that's not even an option. Like you Yo Gotti, like what you represent for, if you can do it, you have to do it. It's about ownership, it's about assets, like what we even talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's powerful.
Nah, absolutely. Another thing I wanted to know is like 42 Dugg, he's from Detroit.
Yeah.
Is there other artists that on CMG that's not from Memphis?
Yeah. 42 Dugg, he from Detroit, and shout out to Lil Baby 4PF too. You know, that's our partner with him. So me and Lil Baby got 42 Dugg signed together.
Right.
We got artists from working with an artist from Ohio, Detroit, Ohio. We got a new young artist from Houston.
Yeah, I also wanted to know, like, when it comes to like y'all, cause y'all are based, y'all based in Memphis as well.
Nah, we based in the street, man. We based, anywhere the streets at.
Yeah.
We at, you know, we ain't like confined to no one area. I'm traveling 4-5 days a week.
Right.
I got houses in 4 different cities.
Right.
So I'm from everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm from Memphis.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I'm based everywhere.
Now I wanted to know that because it's just like, you know, you see when we think of Roc Nation, they got New York and LA, or like all the labels have their offices like only in New York or LA. You don't really see too many people based in one, like based where they from, as far as like the offices and shit.
Nah, we moving around, man. We hustling worldwide. This ain't no local shit.
I got you on that.
Yo Gotti, you're such a mogul at this point, you know, like as artists usually age and they start transitioning to different things and some of the moves you're making now, like how much is rap like still your passion?
Oh man, rap still my #1 passion. I love music. I'm a fan of the music. I love creating music because, you know, real shit, just actually making music and doing shows, I think that's like the greatest enjoyment you can get from being an artist. Like, I mean, if you take the money away from it, if you take the sales away from it, just that in general, I don't think it's another better feeling than when you hit the stage and you see 2,000-3,000 motherfuckers in the club rapping your shit. If you looking at these people's face impressions and just their reaction to the music, I don't even know, getting a check don't even outdo that. Like, you can get the check, it's cool, the money gonna go in the bank, but it don't give you that same feeling though.
Yeah.
You know, so I think the music is, outside of even being therapy, like, if you listen to what I'm talking about on this album and how I'm talking, like, imagine trying to just take one individual and talk about that same shit too. It can't happen. You know, so the music also is like a form of therapy. That's the only way you can get this shit out your head. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The shit you thinking, the issues you have, like, putting it on a beat and then giving it to the world and people respecting it and liking it. I don't even know no other way you can do some shit like that.
The way you can get untrapped. You've also been doing some work in the community with Team Rock as well, right? I read that recently. You helped some inmates in Mississippi with some, you know, legal help because they were having trouble. They were getting abused in the penitentiary. So is that something you're going to focus on as well? Yeah,
I'm super focused on that Mississippi prison down there that's treating prisoners wrong, inhumane conditions. We actually just got some updates this morning from my team that the judge allowing some of our experts and our lawyers that we got on the case to actually go in the prison and take pictures and interview some of the inmates and get us more information, because a lot of weird things were happening lately. Like, they brought in some trucks. They brought in a lot of trucks out there to jam the phone services, right? So that pictures wouldn't come out of the jail no more. They tried to stop the inmates from sending pictures and videos outside of the jail. So they sent in these phone jammers to block.
Phone jammers?
They sent in phone jammers to block
they hiding some.
The information from coming out, which is crazy to me because you can't send in the people to fix the electricity. You can't send in water.
Right.
You can't send in medicine, but you can send in phone jammers.
Right.
Trucks with phone jammers, so the information won't come out. So, you know, also I'm hearing on the ground that, like, one of the people who died in there was really from starvation, but they trying to cover it up like he suicided, and then a lot of the inmates that's a part of our lawsuit is getting retaliated on by the guards, I'm hearing, because they part of the lawsuit, like taking their microwaves away, and you know, just trying to make the make the situation harder for them.
It feels like you're like, I've kind of been keeping up with that story. It feels like you're super on the front lines of it.
Oh yeah.
Why?
I mean, cause it's personal to me. You know, I grew up, man. Listen, I don't know how much y'all know about me and my background, but man, most of my family was in prison my whole life coming up. My aunties, all my aunties went to the Fed. My dad was in prison probably more than he was out. My big brother was in prison, you know, 2-3 different times, 11-year bid, 8-year bid. So I grew up visiting prison since I'm 6-7 years old. I've been going to see different family members in prison my whole life. That ain't counting all the homeboys I done had in prison, you know what I'm saying? So these people, I understand that just because you're in prison don't mean you're not a human being.
Right.
So they could be anybody brother, anybody father, anybody mother in these prisons that these people treating like they animals and they not human. So that's why it's personal to me.
Do you think rehabilitation is something that's obviously like a big issue in the States? Like they don't do that in prison. They're not really trying to help, right? They want you just sort of stuck in this cycle. But is that something that you think you could dedicate resources to moving forward? Just helping train people, teaching them new jobs, that kind of stuff while they're incarcerated, so when they come out, they have a better chance?
Well, they say jail's supposed to be for rehabilitation.
Allegedly, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. You know what I mean? Like
it's just a trap here.
Yeah, I can't really say what it does and don't for prisoners. I think you would have to ask a prisoner that probably, but you know.
But it's just, I mean, just because you already give so much advice and obviously care about your community and give back, that could be something I think that, you know, would be rewarding and helpful to people that you know and love as well.
Yeah. I wanted to know if you was going to do the Yo Gotti financial advisory class.
Yeah.
Because I did watch a few of your interviews and just hearing you talk about, you know, how you said like making your first million was the hardest, but then after that, like kind of training yourself once you made the first to keep doing it and like just like you said, sharing that game. Like I want to know, would you do a class or a seminar, even a panel, more panels outside of?
Man, I will. I think I will. You know, I start with inside the family. You know, like with my artists, I talk to my artists or my homeboys. Some of my homeboys, not even musicians, not even in the music business, but they getting paper. So I'm always trying to tell them, man, put the paper up, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's so easy to spend the money. It's too easy to spend the money and not stack it. Yeah. So I always try to tell even my little homies that, like, me and Youngsta, I know y'all talked to Youngsta up here before, and he'll be back. But I used to argue with Youngsta actually about, like, buying cars and shit. Like, I never forget when he called me from the car lot. He was buying a Aventador Lamborghini. You know, and this car, like, close to $400,000. And it's like early in his career though.
I remember when he got that car.
This early in his career.
Like a motherfucker, man. I used to be thinking, what the fuck? You gotta be saying to him about this, because this shit don't look financially savvy.
This was like early in his career. He hit me like, big bro, what you think about this? I'm like, oh, what's that? You know, I got one of these cars, right? So I'm like, he like, yeah, I'm finna get this one. And I'm like, for real? So at the same time, while I'm hitting his manager on the other phone, like, yo, tell him bro don't buy that car. So I guess the manager tell me, like, nah, big bro, I got it, I'm good. I'm straight. I'm like, how you gonna get it? He like, nah, I'm gonna cash him out. He showed me the bag of money. Like, I'm gonna cash him out right now. You know what I'm saying?
The whole time watching that, I'm like, yo, what type of advance did Gotti get this nigga? This nigga is spinning out of control.
Well, doing them shows down there in that circuit.
But it ain't about, speaking of advances, it ain't about, you know, the advance. It's about what type of deals you get and what type of hustling we doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing I say about all the artists with me, first of all, everybody millionaires or multi-millionaires, you know what I'm saying? It's because we give them the blueprint to hustle and how to win. You know, I tell artists all the time, like, you worry about the wrong thing to me when you worry about the advance check. That's one time.
Right.
You gonna spend it. You gotta be worried about how you gonna get money every week or every month or every quarter, how the money gonna be residual. That's how you gonna become rich. You ain't gonna become rich off that one advance check, and you gonna spend it. And when you gonna get another one?
Right.
You know, so, you know, all my artists, they got the same blueprint I had. You ain't never known me not to have money since I've been in the music business.
Right.
Everybody questioning what I was doing. Is he really even making money off the music? Because the money never matched almost the sales or the whatever you wanted to call it. Like, yo, how you getting this much paper and he don't seem to be on that level
Yeah.
of success with the artists because we
Smart and
super
smart.
hustlers and we know numbers and we understand how to get to the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and I make sure we get that same blueprint to every artist. So most of our artists, they get to the money way faster than other artists. Way faster than other artists that actually achieve more accolades than them, I guess we'll say. So yeah, Youngsta was buying $400,000 cars one year into the game, you know what I'm saying? He didn't even have an album out.
How is that adapting though? Cause like I remember being in Houston in 08 and seeing your shit at the gas station and people grabbing that a lot, and then now we in the streaming era, right? And in order to last, I feel like in order to go from generation to generation, you gotta understand what's next. So like how is it like adapting to the next wave? Like before it was MP3s, now we don't even got USBs on MacBooks no more. So now it's the streaming era, with you being like a veteran artist, but you still, I've been at your shows, like you still got all the young people. Like how is it adapting?
I mean, I think you just gotta stay ahead of it, study it, make sure you understand what it is, but it's still different. It's still different because you gotta think like most of the people that's in the streaming, I would say it's younger kids, right? And they grew up in the era where most of a Yo Gotti fan probably grew up buying the actual physical CD. So it's probably different for them too. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I don't know 100%, but it's most definitely some differences to it. So even coming out with this album, 2 years from releasing, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of it is new. But I still understand it because I still been working it with the other artists. So I've been going through the other artists rollout, so I understand it a little more. But it's still different because these younger artists who grew up in the era versus me growing up in a different era. But I don't know, man. We just hustling.
Hey, Gotti, I gotta ask you this question, and I want you to put me on game because I was stumped when this person said it. We had another artist from Memphis up here, and they made a statement that they made Memphis hot again. And I don't know the long history of Memphis, but I didn't know what to say.
And you still don't know what to say.
I still don't know. That's what I'm asking you. That's what I'm asking you. So, like, in terms of you are OG, been doing your thing in Memphis. You've seen everybody come and go. How do you feel the state of Memphis been from back when you started up till now?
I love it. I love the game. I love the game. I love where it's at. It's a lot of new artists who I think contributing to the city, being hot and staying hot, and they changing a little ways. You know, if you want to go from 3-6 Mafia to 8-Ball, MJG to me, to everybody who came after me, up to the new young choppers, and everybody's different. You know what I'm saying? NLE Chopper's nothing like Yo Gotti. He's nothing like the other artists from Memphis. He's nothing like Moneybagg. Ain't nothing like Black Youngsta. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have so many different variations of artists that still from a different city, from the same city. So I think all of us collectively add to what's happening in the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I'm who I am. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I don't think nobody questioning that. You, him, anybody that's watching. I don't even gotta sit on here and say what I contributed and what I done. I think everybody know what I done, you know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping off what nobody else think they done, you know what I'm saying? That's their opinion, and, you know, they can have it.
I wanted to know this last thing too. So, like, I mean, the first time I probably heard an artist from Memphis, I think it's 8-Ball MJG on Mace album, right? And then as years go by, Memphis is really known for like having hit records, but people don't talk enough about lyricism coming from Memphis. I mean, because there's a lot of rappers, like even when I look on your album, it's certain samples that you use that's like legend, and just through your career, you've used a lot of legendary samples from like people who use songs from up here, you know, so lyricism in Memphis, I feel like that doesn't get enough shine. What do you think about that?
I mean, but who?
I mean, like it's not included in the conversation. Like I feel like Yo is one of the more young up-and-coming rappers that I feel like we always talk about, like, and not trying to I'm not pitting nobody against each other, but Lil Baby gets a lot of credit for as good of a rapper as he is.
Yeah.
Yo gets a lot of credit for a lot of his songs and shit, but I don't feel like they talk about Yo as much when it comes to rapping. I mean,
man, Lil Baby one of my favorite artists. Shout out to Baby. You talking about Moneybagg?
Moneybagg,
right?
Yo, yeah, my fault.
Moneybagg stupid hard. Like everybody know that. Moneybagg goes so hard, but I think he also got his own unique flow, like the way I actually was just asking him that when I be like, yo, man, the way you just put words together and the way you make it with the bounce, like, you super unique. Me and Youngsta was on the phone talking about that actually like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Talking about just like man, how hard Bag is and how he put his records together. I just think every artist is different. That would make this shit cool though. That would make the whole game cool, is that like each artist is different, man. The way they put their music together and they flow patterns and just the bounce of their shit.
Yeah.
But besides Chopper, is there any artist that you like kind of could have signed, but then they ended up signing someone else and just blew all the way up?
They kind of could have signed.
Yeah.
And they blew all the way up. Well, it's a couple artists that, I'm gonna put it like this, it's a couple artists out there, some of our biggest artists, you know what I'm saying, that I'm a part of their situation, but I can't even speak on it, because when I say I'm a part of the situation, meaning I put 1 and 2 together with the business structure, with the labels and them, and help merge it, you know what I'm saying? And not that I'm eating off their food chain, but the labels had to make sure I eat off
Little finder's fees.
Nice.
Not even a finder's fee, because I don't want nothing small. Oh, you can't give me no little chicken say.
Y'all love guys.
Yeah, you can't give me no.
You can't get.
You can't give me no one chicken say. Bring me another one. Nah, I don't hustle like that. Like you know what I'm saying. Like
break it up,
long as
man.
you getting money, I'm getting money.
Gotcha.
If I'm involved in this, and it's a few of them out there. I say 2 or 3 that nobody would never guess, and I would never say, because you know I gotta respect the business. But it's a couple people that you know what I'm saying. We put in I wouldn't say we put them in position, because these artists that was hot on their own, but we put the connect together.
Connecting the pieces is important.
And behind the scenes. So we're part of a couple situations on the low.
So Gotti, just for the record, so early in your career, 1 year in, you probably shouldn't be buying $400,000 cars. But it's cool, like 10 years in to lose.
You should be if you can afford it. So, you know, long as you ain't spending, if you got $420,000 and you buying a $400,000 car,
Doesn't
you
make
tripping.
sense.
That wasn't the case with little brother.
But then it's easy. Losing $500,000 at, you know, a gala is okay because it's for charity, right?
Yeah.
On blackjack, $500,000 on
Did you win that
blackjack.
Super Bowl bet? You showed like $200,000.
Oh, did nobody bet me, bro?
Nobody bet you?
Nah.
Oh, man.
I would have won this shit too.
Oh, where you had the Chiefs?
I wasn't gonna bet on the Chiefs.
Wouldn't you have been sick if you lost though? Man, I lost $1,500, man. I still feel sick.
Nah.
Of course.
Man, I would have. I don't know what I would have done. You know, most times when I lose a lot of money, my to get over it, I go spend more. So if I would have lost the $200,000, I probably would have went and bought some that same day or the next day for like $400,000-500,000. And to me, that's
we talking about a different type of bag over here.
Yeah, but that make me feel a little better, because I'd rather feel like, man, I bought something for $500 that I really bought for $700. And I just spent too much on it. That's kind of how I look at it. Whenever I lose, I just go spend more money.
As a CEO of Boston Mogul, and also somebody who, you know, like you had your own artists like Youngsta, you know, make impulsive decisions when they, you know, kind of just got on, right? I wonder how you feel on this. You know, there was another situation where another artist basically, he said, yo, he just got signed, wasn't gonna buy a chain or whatever. But then you had another artist basically say, yo, you should, because, yo, your chain is part of your look. It's investing in your career. Where do you fall on that? Do you feel like, you know, like kind of, because you ice out like a motherfucker, but of course you way different than someone who just started. Do you think it's investing in your career early on?
I think investing in your career is important. Now, how you invest in your career is your opinion. You know what I mean? Is investing in your career buying a chain, or is it buying a Sprinter so you can go do some promo shit and touch some cities, or is it posting up, or is it not waiting on the record label to put you in the studio, or you put yourself in the studio? Or is it, instead of complaining about how the record label not promoting you, you go press up your own promotional shit? That's investing in yourself too. It don't have to be a chain. So I do advise all artists to invest in themselves. It's just how you investing in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like how you know, you got a project coming out, and buy you and your homeboys own flights to come to New York to do promo, and instead of not coming because the record label won't buy you number 2 plane tickets. There's a million ways to invest in yourself. So I'm 1,000% believing in investing in yourself, because even having a record deal or record label, you still have to invest in yourself. They don't do everything for you. Right. They only do the bare minimum or the necessary. So I'm with the investing in yourself. Now, how you doing it? You buying a chain or whatever, that's your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think a chain gonna say, records, your music gotta be good. You know what I'm saying? You can't trick these people. You can't trick the consumers. They won't listen to your shit or they don't.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
For real.
That's very good advice. Yeah. Akademiks is trying to figure out how to invest in himself.
Who?
This guy.
I'm
Ek already lit, man.
I'm impressed with him, man. I got
Ek already lit out
here. Last question. Can I get one more off?
Come on, y'all give me I ain't tripping.
Because you know what?
I'm straight.
Well, in any of your past issues, would you ever, way back you had issues with Gucci, is this something you would ever, just squash or get over or whatever? Or he's in a different place. I imagine you ain't on whatever no more. Is it something that y'all could maybe have a conversation about and, come to a same accord on that?
Yeah, and my man already squashed all my issues with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't thinking about it. I ain't on it. I don't got no hard feelings. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no negative, nothing negative toward them. I don't want to see nobody, I want to see everybody win. So, and my man, I already squashed it with myself in my own heart. So I think that's where it started. If you ain't on it, you ain't tripping. So that means you can see these people and you don't feel no certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? So in my heart, I ain't got no issues with anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
That's an amazing thing. He's got
growth.
it.
That's what
Thank you, growth. Thank you for coming
I'm
up.
Untrapped, bro.
Exactly. I'm right now.
New album Untrapped.
Too.
Go check that out. Thank you for pulling up.
Absolutely.
Thank you for tuning in, guys. We'll see you here tomorrow on Everyday Struggle.